Let's talk about shyness. But here's the thing, we're going to look at it a little differently. Not as some fixed part of your personality, but as a barrier, a mindset that you can absolutely 100% change with the right steps. So let's dive right in. Let me ask you something right off the bat. Do you ever feel like something's just holding you back? Stopping you from speaking up, from grabbing opportunities, from really showing people what you're made of? If that sounds familiar, then you're in the right place.
So where do we even start? Well, before we can build up that confidence, we have to figure out where shyness really comes from. And believe it or not, it all starts with the stories we tell ourselves inside our own heads.
This right here. This is the most important first step. You have got to stop saying the words, "I am shy." Every single time you say that, you're not just describing a feeling, you're reinforcing an identity. You're telling your brain, this is who I am, and we need to break that cycle.
Think about it for a second. Nobody is born shy. It's a belief we pick up along the way, and it gets stronger through sheer repetition. What's so wild is that your subconscious mind is always listening. It doesn't argue, it just believes what you tell it most often and turns that into your reality. And you can see the connection so clearly right here. When your inner voice is always saying, "I can't do it," your mind just builds a world of low confidence around you. But the moment you flip that script, when you start saying, "Hey, if other people can do it, I can do it too," well, that's when you start laying the groundwork for real, lasting confidence. Okay, so we figured out the problem. Now for the fun part, the solutions. Let's get into some practical, real-world steps you can start taking to build that solid foundation of self-confidence.
These two steps are a perfect combo. First, just start by talking to people who are on your level, your peers, your classmates, people in a similar role. The chances of getting rejected are way lower, and that helps build some positive momentum. At the very same time, set super small, achievable goals. Every little win, no matter how tiny, adds another brick to that wall of self-esteem.
The idea here is simple. You don't try to build an empire overnight. You start with something small. If it fails, who cares? The stakes are low, but the lessons you learn are invaluable. You figure out how things work, you adjust, and then you're ready to grow. All right, once you've stacked up a few of those small wins and you're feeling a bit more solid, it's time to level up. It's time to face the real monster that fuels shyness, fear. You know, the fear of rejection, the fear of being judged.
This is such a powerful way to reframe things. Getting rejected doesn't mean you failed, it just means you tried. Every single successful person you can think of has heard the word no more times than you can even imagine. It's not a roadblock, it's just part of the road.
So, how do we make this real? First, just accept it. Rejection is normal. Next, you got to throw yourself into situations where you have to communicate. Get a part-time sales job, take a public speaking class, anything. And this one is huge. Respect what you do. Own it. Don't hide because you're scared. The moment you truly stop worrying about what other people think is the moment you become free.
You know, it really is this simple. When a toddler is learning to walk, do we criticize them every time they fall over? Of course not. We know falling is how they learn. You have to treat communication the exact same way. You're going to stumble, you're going to fall, just get back up and try again. Soon enough, you'll be running. Okay, we've dealt with the inner voice. We've tackled the fear. Now for the final piece of the puzzle, how to point all of this new confidence in the right direction, towards a successful future. The secret is to become target-oriented. This just means you stop wandering aimlessly. You pick a specific, concrete goal, you work towards it, and when you hit it, you reward yourself. This creates this incredible positive loop in your brain that just keeps building on itself. Let me give you an amazing real-world example of this, from one of the greatest cricket players of all time, Sachin Tendulkar.
So his coach didn't tell him, go score 100 runs. He gave him one tiny, specific target. In the practice nets, just don't get clean bowled. That's it. And every time he succeeded at that one little thing, his coach would give him a reward.
So what was the result of focusing on that one tiny target, day after day? Well, Sachin Tendulkar developed one of the most rock-solid defenses in the history of cricket. He became a master because he focused on a small, consistent goal. And this isn't just for world-class athletes. The speaker who told this story shared that as a young woman, she set her own target, to buy a car with her own money. She focused on that one thing and she did it. This method works for anyone. So, the main takeaway from all of this is pretty clear. Shyness isn't you. It is not a permanent part of your DNA. It's just a pattern of thinking and a habit, and you have all the power you need to change it starting today. And that really brings us to the end. The only question left is the one for you. Don't worry about next month or next year. What is one small, specific target you can set for yourself right now to take that very first step forward?